So I'm not sure if you just saw, but legendary billionaire investor Scott Minerd just said that gold is going to $10,000. And in this video, we're going to be talking about what the billionaire said, the legendary investor, about gold and the state of the global economy that needs to basically continue the rate it's on for gold to get to where he says will be $10,000. But first, I did a gold giveaway last video. So I gave out 2 quarter-ounce gold coins to viewers and ended up actually getting over 3,000 submissions, which I did not expect to get that many. So it took me a long time to read all of them. There were so many submissions, a lot more than I expected. So I'll be doing it again in today's video. So just watch today's video, hit the like button, and I'll share at the end how to enter the contest to get a quarter-ounce gold coin. So last week's winners were Rick and Jess, no last names for privacy reasons, but I've already contacted them directly on email. So lastly, I'd like to thank the sponsor for today's video. So that's Blue Lagoon Resources. They are a great gold mining stock that we've interviewed on this show here before, and I'll tell you more about Blue Lagoon Resources later in this video. So before we drop into that, stick around until the end for the quarter-ounce gold coin contest, and let's dive right into this video. So before we talk about the legendary investor Scott Minerd saying gold's going to $10,000, let's hear what some of the other financial bigwig billionaires are all saying about this very peculiar moment in the history of the world, especially financially. So Larry Fink, he's the CEO of BlackRock. BlackRock is the world's largest asset manager with over $8 trillion in assets presently under management. And he recently said, quote, "Most people haven't had a 40+ year career. They've only seen declining inflation over the last 30+ years. This is going to be a pretty big shock." So billionaire investing legend Ray Dalio said that the wreckage of this financial force will be, quote, "far larger than what happened in 2008. Wall Street legend Leon Cooperman agrees, quote, "It's not going to end well." And billionaire hedge fund manager Bill Ackman went more to the apocalyptic nature, and he said, quote, "Hell is coming. America will end as we know it." So truthfully, I'm not really sure exactly what's going to happen. Nobody is. But this is the exact same environment that will send the price of gold soaring. These are the things that we've been talking about on this channel for 13, 14, 15 months. And not that long ago, they were a conspiracy. For example, J.M. Smucker CEO, he says, seeing widespread inflation, quote, "the company is passing on some price increases onto consumers." Clorox said during its quarterly earnings call on April 30th that it plans to increase prices for some of its Glad brand products due to higher material and shipping cost. And last week, I shared a video clip of Warren Buffett saying inflation is here in a major way. And as he ended the clip, his business partner, Charlie Munger, chimed in right at the end after Warren warns about inflation. And Munger goes, quote, "It's only just the start." So really the unusual thing though about this is due to the lockdowns, people have become dependent on stimulus and unemployment. So the government needs these low interest rates to keep printing more and more money. Meanwhile, businesses across the country all have hiring signs and very, very, very short staff. So there's no economy while inflation is soaring. This is what you call a hyperinflationary depression. For example, in my favorite town where I live, my absolute favorite restaurant, very nice restaurant, like to sit down, have a nice meal with my wife. And so we went and sat down, and we had only been doing takeout. And the reason we'd been doing that is because they seemed to always been using plastic cups. I mean, look, if I'm gonna buy a nice wine, I want to drink out of a glass, a nice glass at that. I do not want to drink out of a plastic cup. And so we finally went back to sit down. It had been months. We figured they for sure had silverware and all that stuff. Now, they still didn't have it. So I said something to the manager and I just said all nicely, hey, you know, he knows me well. And I said, hey, look, you know, if I'm gonna spend some good money here at the restaurant, I'd really like to have nice silverware. And he said, I know, we're gonna have it in like 2 weeks. So we waited 3-4 weeks just to be safe. We went back and I went to the counter first and I said, did you guys get it? And he said, no. And I said, no way. And I made a joke and I said, too much stimulus money going around? And he said, it's exactly that. He said, nobody can get anyone to work jobs. Mind you, I live in a town that did not experience any lockdown, so there was not job loss. At this point, there are many people that are making more money from unemployment. And so the effect of that is businesses are suffering. There's for hire everywhere, but there's huge amounts of liquidity, of money at the same time being pumped through the system. So you're getting inflation, but you're not getting labor. And that's pretty much a perfect storm. And, you know, we could go on and on about doom and gloom, but if you're prepared during these times of inflation, you can really grow your wealth and your freedom. All throughout history, it's always went back to gold. For example, this is what Scott had to say, the legendary investor, about gold prices. Quote, the ultimate price target for gold is between $5,000 and $10,000 an ounce. This is ultimately in the cards. Silver traditionally lags, it's the poor man's gold, and it's the one that will have the largest move on a percentage basis. It's the high beta version of gold. So he's saying 10,000 is, quote, exactly in the card. So he highlighted that it's also a good time to have a significant allocation of precious metals as well as gold mining stocks. And he said in the form of GDX. He said that it would make, quote, a lot of sense right now. So GDX is, of course, the main gold miners index. It's a good place to start, especially if you don't like risk and you don't want to speculate at all. So on this chart right here, you're seeing the primary weightings of GDX. It's a lot of large, fantastic companies. You've got Newmont, you've got Barrick, you've got Franco-Nevada, all great companies, as you can see here. But I prefer the smaller stocks. It's more speculative. They are more volatile, and you have to spread your risk across many picks. Basically, you build your own ETF of junior miners. And if you manage your risk well, there's huge upside. For example, Colin Cattell told me that his father 100x'd his money during the 70s, 80s, and again in the 2000s during the gold bull markets by investing in junior mining companies. So junior mining companies is the area of focus for our sponsor in today's video, which is Blue Lagoon Resources. So the main thing that makes Blue Lagoon attractive is that the shares are currently near all-time lows. Many junior mining stocks have sold off, over-exaggerated as gold declined. Blue Lagoon Resources is BLAGF. It's a mineral exploration and development company, so they're focused on gold and silver. They have a past producing project. It's called Dome Mountain Mine. And so I'll just break down a few big ideas about Blue Lagoon Resources. So number one, the company's current market cap is $33 million. So number two, Dome Mountain Mine site has seen $28 million spent in the last 12 years, as well as previously $40 million spent by the old owner for mine permitting, infrastructure, construction, underground development, and exploration drilling. So they have a very savvy CEO. We've had him on the channel. He's a very cool guy. His name's Rana Vig. And so he set this up pretty unique. So Blue Lagoon didn't spend that total of $68 million that was invested into Dome Mountain. Instead, it purchased the whole property for 27 million Canadian in an all-share deal. So they have zero debt. the founder, Rana, that I was talking about. Cool guy, he's been on the channel. I'll link his interview in the description right there down below on our channel if you want to check out a bit more about Blue Lagoon. So basically, he was able to negotiate a pretty unique situation where they got no debt and they were able to acquire Dome Mountain in shares only. So the first time I interviewed the CEO, Rana Vig, he told me he was serious about becoming a gold and silver producer as fast as possible to move from the development stage into the producing stage. And now that time has passed, the company is within a very short distance from completing all the regulatory hurdles that come before deciding whether to put the mine into production this summer, which of course is a very rare opportunity. So the good news out of the whole thing is not just that they're close to becoming producer and he kind of stuck true to his original word, but they've also not explored 90% of the entire project. And so far, Rana says they've identified 15 high-grade gold veins, and the past producing mine is only based on 1 out of the 15. So I liked Rana a lot when I interviewed him the first time. He's a serially successful CEO in publicly traded companies. So in one of his past roles, he acquired Curaleaf Holdings for $5 billion in a reverse takeover, and they went on to raise $520 million, making it the largest Canadian cannabis financing in history. And so he's a guy that knows what he's doing. He recently just bought another 1 million shares of his company. You know he's heavily involved in it. And it's just finally good to see them getting close to breaking through on producing and following through with exactly what he said. Now, in the gold and silver mining stocks, you can invest solely in GDX, and you can also add smaller junior mining stocks to get more leverage. But if Scott is correct and gold actually goes to $10,000 per ounce, junior mining stocks are set for a massive journey to what is affectionately known in the meme stock culture as, quote, to the moon. So why are billionaires like Ray Dalio and Scott Minerd talking up gold so much? Right? They're really talking the book for gold. And so I always share this example, but I think it's kind of the best way to grasp why gold is so valuable and why it's always been so important in an environment where governments are printing infinite money. So I've talked about this in another video, so bear with me if you heard it before, but let's pretend that my grandpa bought this gold coin. It's an American Eagle gold coin. So let's pretend that he bought this coin 100 years ago. Let's pretend it was 20 bucks, which actually was a price for gold not that long ago. So let's pretend that he took the $20 bill and the gold and he put it in a safe. And then he gave it to my dad, and then my dad gave it to me. And I just opened the safe up. And in this safe, I've got this American Eagle gold coin, and then I have this $20 bill. So at one time, these were the same price. This is now worth 1,900 bucks or so. This is still worth $20. If you see this chart popping up on the screen right now, this is the chart that shows the devaluation of the purchasing power of the United States dollar since the creation of the Federal Reserve in 1913. And as you can see, it's lost 96% of all its power. So this $20 bill has went down in purchasing power by 95%. And this coin has went from 20 bucks to $1,900 over that same period of time. And so Mike Maloney always says that during these times of great upheaval in currencies, as we hit currency crisis, gold and silver always do a full accounting for the expansion of the monetary supply, meaning as they print more and more money, eventually there's a quantum leap in the price of gold. It moves from $20 to $1,900, or in Scott Minerd's example, it goes from $1,900 to $10,000. And gold mining stocks are the way you play the leverage on that. So it's a wealth creation tool. Whereas this has always been a wealth preservation tool. The coin is preserving your savings, and the mining stocks on different degrees, whether you go for more conservative places like GDX or you're more speculative in the riskier junior miners, those are your vehicles to build that same wealth. Like every single asset in the entire world though, gold price does not just go up. It fluctuates. It goes up, it goes down. But in the past 20 years, gold has been a top performing asset, rising by 700% since the year 2000, which is higher than the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. It also outperformed Warren Buffett's company, Berkshire Hathaway, over that exact same period of time. Now, before I get into this week's quarter ounce gold coin contest, how you can win and how to participate, I want to know, are you seeing inflation starting to grow in your area? Are you seeing higher signs all over your town? If so, let me know in the comments and what your plan is to protect and grow your wealth during this inflationary period. And if you want to win in this week's gold contest, here's a couple things to do. All you got to do: hit the like button on this video, comment down below, go gold go. Now, you need to email iloveprosperity2019@gmail.com. That's my email. Send me an email and tell me one thing that you're grateful for. Send me an email. All you got to do, one thing you're grateful for. I'm going to pick a couple winners. Please do not engage with anyone pretending to be me in the comments, telling you to go to WhatsApp for some special investment advice. This is not me. If you want to enter the gold coin contest, it's going to be directly at iloveprosperity2019@gmail. No other place on the internet, especially not on some WhatsApp crypto or gold scam. So make sure you hit the like button, comment down below, go gold go. So I want to thank you for joining me on today's video. I hope you found it valuable. So go check out the companies that I talked about. Our sponsor today was Blue Lagoon Resources. In the US, the ticker symbol is BLAGF. That's Blue Lagoon Resources, our sponsor for today's video. Be sure to wish yourself good luck in this gold coin contest. Remember, just hit the like button on this video. You're going to comment down below gold go, and then you're going to send me an email. Only send it to me, iloveprosperity2019@gmail.com. Do not engage with anyone pretending to be me in the comments. So I want to thank you for being a subscriber. If you're new here, I want to thank you for watching this video all the way through. And if you haven't yet, be sure to hit that subscribe and bell notification to get notified for future videos. And happy inflation.